Welcome to Minus But More. My name is Eric Cup, and you have so much more in you. I am so proud of you because this week you had some opposition, but you overcame. You had some struggles, but guess what? You became stronger. You had some anxiety this week, but guess what? It aligns you to the assignment that you are on. I am so grateful that you're here. You're doing an amazing job because there is something special in you. Remember last week when we connected, we always said, always something, right? Always something. But we're going to pivot always something to something special because you have something special in you. You are doing awesome. Remember the struggle that you had this week? That is because that something special in you is strengthening when that season opens up for you. You're going to make it. You're going to do amazing things. God is doing awesome things in and through you. So let's get after it. So this week's topic is called Always Happens. And I heard that a lot as well. I don't know about you, but it always happens on Friday before we leave the office. It always happens to me. It always happens when I don't get enough rest. It always happens when I eat too much food. It always happens when I drink too much caffeine. It always happens to me. It always happens to me. So we're going to pivot this week. Always happens to always on time. Always happens to always on time because we serve an on time God. Now let's go to um, 2 Peter chapter 3, verses 8 through 9. I'm going to read from the message. We're going to get after it. Don't overlook the obvious here, friends. Is there something obvious in your life that you're overlooking? Maybe that opposition that you had this week, maybe that was obvious, maybe it was not so obvious. But remember, you overcame with God. All right, not with man, not with self, but with God. One day is as good as 1,000 years. 1,000 years as a day. Interesting. God isn't late with his promise, right? He's an on time God because God isn't late with his promises, as some measure lateness. Lateness. So you might think it's too late, right, to go get that education. You might think it's too late to walk in the calling that God has called you to. Maybe you think you're too young, you're too old, you don't have the resources, but God has given you everything you need in the season you're in. No matter what resources you feel you lack, you have enough. Um, the relationships that you feel that you lack, it's already aligned. Use what's in front of you. Use what you have. What's in your hand? What is in your hand today? What is in your hand today? So he is restraining himself on account of you. God is restraining himself on account of you, holding back the end because he doesn't want anyone lost. And here we go. This is why it always happens to me. Always happens to me. But he is an on time God. Ready? Here's the answer. He's giving everyone space and time to change. He's giving you space and time to change. Always happens to me. Always happens to me. Right? So peace always happens when I pray and submit to the Prince of Peace, right? You want some of that peace? It'll always happen when you pray and submit, right? You'll get that peace. You want some more joy? Joy always happens when I rejoice and count my blessings and not regret and sit there and look at things that I don't have or wish I had. But strength always happens when I surrender. Maybe say sorry to your spouse, say sorry to your friend, say sorry to yourself. Always happens. So I hope this helped you today. We serve an on time God. So sprinkle some purple purpose on it. And remember, pivot always happens to always on time. I'm grateful for you. I'm praying for you. Have an amazing week.